Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. We're back together again.
We are back together again. I like this. Let's keep doing this.
Okay.
So how's your week, your day, your weekend?
It was good. It was good. Just came back from Thanksgiving.
Yes, just came back. It reminded me of the need to find things to do in the cold, right? Like
Yes.
The sun's going down early, summer's not here. Like, what do you do when it's cold, when it's dark, and you still have some hours before bedtime?
I will admit that this is, after we get over the holidays, this is my least favorite time of year because I do really enjoy the sunlight, and I feel like I have to be super intentional when it comes to staying active and doing things. Like, for instance, I love to run. I hate to run in the cold.
Okay.
Right? So I've really become a lot more conscious of like, oh, I'm going to run at lunchtime when I know it's warm, and when I know the day actually looks like the sun should be where it is.
Yeah.
It's like when it comes to be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it feels like it's time to go to bed, you know?
Yeah.
So, and what about you?
I like to spend quality time with my loved ones, my dog and my wife. Those are my loved ones. I think we really picked up puzzles, whether it's jigsaw puzzles or whether it's like, that'd be just any puzzle, sliding puzzles. So
Yeah.
I'm working with a lot of puzzles right now.
So you're finally joining the puzzle bandwagon. We've been in COVID for like a year and a half, and you're just
No, not finally. You should see my living room. I have maybe 3 or 4 big puzzles that I've glued and framed.
Okay.
They're part of my decoration. So now I'm just letting the world know.
Okay. I wish I had a natural segue. Like, now let's meet the puzzle that is today's guest.
Right.
But our guest is not a puzzle, and we're very pleased to introduce another colleague of ours.
But a great puzzle piece to our bigger picture.
I mean, I think another member of our staff already has puzzle pieces. You know, they
market
cornered on puzzle pieces, but that's Donique. Make sure you check out Donique's podcast, Puzzle Pieces Podcast. I want to welcome today to not Puzzle Pieces Podcast, Cup of Joy Cafe, our colleague Casey Lamb. Casey, hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. And how was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. I went up to Massachusetts and spent some time with more extended family. Got to see my sister-in-law who is expecting a baby this week, so that's super exciting. So it was great. Yeah.
I have to imagine that this backdrop is not your New York City apartment.
No, it's not. This is I am in an office space.
Ooh.
An office space? What are those?
I'm at Here to Here, which Big Picture is a founding partner of Here to Here, and we're up in the South Bronx today.
Tell us a little bit more about Here to Here. Like, what's its purpose?
Yeah, for sure. Here to Here brings together schools, youth, businesses, and the broader community to champion pathways to life and career success for young people. So they have a network of about 15 high schools in the Bronx and surrounding areas that they work with to support student-centered work-based learning opportunities and connect them with business partners. And then they also do a lot of policy and advocacy work to try to champion sort of broader changes that enable more of this to happen in schools across the city.
And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, and it's possible I have this wrong, but Here to Here does do some work with network school Fannie Lou Hamer Freedom High School.
They do, yes, for sure. Mm-hmm. Fannie Lou is a proud Here to Here network member.
Wonderful. Well, Kate, I think Carla knows, one of the reasons that we wanted to have you on today is you recently published pretty powerful new study that Big Picture has released about opportunities for students, not only in New York City, but New York State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So for the last couple of years, I've been running something called the New York Internship Pathways Project, which is a Carnegie-funded initiative that we work at multiple levels, but our ultimate goal is to have more young people participating in student interest-driven work-based learning experiences like internships across the state. And so we're working with a cohort of about 10 schools and districts across the state, including a few here in New York City. And we're also engaged in some advocacy work ourselves, trying to influence statewide policies and district level policies as well to enable more experiences like this for young people.
I want to get it out of the way because I do have a tendency to sort of add these at the end. If folks want to see the report, we're going to continue talking about it. But if you wanted to see the report, you go to bit.ly/LTL in NY. I should say bit.ly links are always case sensitive. So LTL is uppercase, NY is also uppercase. Casey, I wanted to give a shout out to one of the schools that's featured in your report because they recently reached out to me. I have noticed that they're upping their social media game, so hopefully they'll be watching this. Ready Academy is one of the schools in the report. And you do case studies on several schools in the different ways that they're sort of tackling this issue. Can you talk about Ready and maybe some of the other schools that are featured in the report?
Yeah, for sure. So I think one of the things that I love about this initiative is we're not just working with big picture schools. There are a few big picture schools that are involved, but we have a number of other schools that have really different contexts and experiences and sort of prior programs. So one of the things we wanted to do with this report was do case studies that really highlight different approaches to integrating work-based learning into the school. So we highlight one international school in the Bronx, Claremont International High School, that serves newcomers and has had an internship program in place since its second year for juniors, and they're trying to make it more interest driven and more connected to the mentors and build on relationships. We also highlight a 1,500 student school out in Long Island that has had a number of different initiatives over the years and is working to try to sort of align them and bring coherence and again, more student focus, student-centeredness to these programs. And then we feature Ready Academy that you just mentioned, which is a small alternative program up in Sweet Home outside of Buffalo. And they have been around for about 3 or 4 years. And over the last couple of years, they've been working with Big Picture to start to integrate elements of the Big Picture approach. So they brought in advisory and individual learning plans and exhibitions. And this year, they've completely revamped their schedule to do learning through interest and internships and allow students to get off campus twice a week to participate in these immersive and sustained experiences.
Nice.
So they're great. Yeah.
Well, I had the pleasure of working with you on the report. I was helping on the design side, but one of the things I learned from working with you, which I really appreciate, is like it's a dense report. It's 33 pages long, but one of the things that I know that you were conscious of early on is creating it into segments that people could sort of consume as modules, and case studies is one of those. You want to speak about the other pieces of the larger report and what they cover?
Yeah, for sure. So we highlight the schools, and then we have a section that sort of shares some lessons learned from the school. So if you are a school or a district who is looking to either introduce work-based learning, or maybe you have a small work-based learning program and you want to improve it or expand it, then I think that lessons learned section is a great place to start, because it just highlights some concrete ways that you can start to do this, whether how do we start to center student interest, and where do we make space in our schedule for adults to surface interest through relationship building with people? And then how do we start to build partnerships with folks in the community to like enable these opportunities? And also, like, you know, the majority of the time I've been working on this, we've been sort of locked down in COVID, so a lot of opportunities have been limited. And but I think that one thing that we've really found from that, and one of the case studies highlights this as well, is just the opportunities that can afford, as well as young people can connect to mentors all over the globe in theory, and work on projects in different ways. So how can you think creatively about all of the partners that you can access and the ways that they can connect with young people to support real world learning? And then lastly, we have a section on policy recommendations, which connects to sort of the beginning and the context setting, because one of the reasons that we're doing this project now is that New York State, and this is more true now than it was 2 years ago, even though some things, of course, slowed down with COVID. But we're at a real inflection point. We have a new commissioner of schools. We have a new chancellor of the Board of Regents and several new regents as well. We have a new mayor that was just announced, and we'll have a new chancellor in another month or so. And so we're really trying to think about what are the opportunities across the state to really influence meaningful and lasting change.
I'm going to ask you just to opinionate for a second, because this report is really focused on New York and New York State. One could walk away thinking like these things are hyper focused on locality, right? But you think that the issues that you've dealt with in New York are important in other places?
Absolutely. And I think that some of the challenges, some of the challenges are unique to New York, and some of them definitely are not. I think one thing that is unique is New York is one of only 11 states currently that has exit exams. Like, you have to pass exams to be able to graduate from high school, and we have a lot of them. So the New York regents, you have to pass 4 or 5 regents to be able to get your diploma. And so one sort of takeaway from that is, like, if schools have been able to figure out how to make work-based learning a meaningful core piece of a young person's high school experience in that context, then I think you can do it anywhere. But in Flip, we're also trying to learn from other states. So, like, we're at a process of re-evaluating the graduation requirements for New York State, and trying to make recommendations. And obviously the lens that we're thinking about is, like, what graduation requirements would make more of these experiences possible for young people. And so we've been looking at some examples from other states. Like, New Hampshire just recently passed a law that allows students to get high school credit for out-of-school learning experiences, like extracurriculars or clubs or teams or internships. And there's some other, I know in Washington State, they're sort of looking at different forms of assessment and mastery-based criteria that enables, like, students to get credit for the kind of learning that is for different kinds of learning. It doesn't have to just be sitting on a test, but, like, how do you display what you're learning? So we're trying to look at those different models from across the country and highlight some promising practices that can support this.
Nice. Well, Carla, have you seen this report? It's pretty terrific.
I've looked through a few I need to spend some time with it, but I'm really happy to see the work that you're doing, Casey, and also the work happening with Here to Here and in New York. And it's really cool to get the opportunity to see it for myself. And so I'm glad to have the opportunity to visit at some point.
Yeah.
Casey, please.
I was just going to say, I don't know how much time we have, but I can try to pull in one of my Here to Here colleagues. That
would be great. Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna bring you with me. Is that okay?
A little bit of leaving to learn.
Yeah, there we go. Can we say hello to my colleague Jen and have her tell you about the work that she's doing to connect schools with community partners?
Hi,
Jen. Good, Casey. I think your headphones are still, the mic isn't connected to your headphones too, so we can't hear Jen. We cannot.
I was muted. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
It's all part of doing these things live.
Yeah. Who are we talking to? Who is the audience here? The world.
Yeah, so these are people who may be familiar with the Big Picture Learning Network, or might have just stumbled across our Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube page. So most people who are interested in progressive education.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's share how you connect schools with partners in the Bronx. Yeah, absolutely. So, we do so much. So one of one of the biggest ways we support young people in getting opportunities in, with employers in the Bronx and around the city is through summer youth employment. And so that gears up in February because it launches in March. Applications open, and so we're connecting local employers, but also employers across New York City to 75,000, right, students across the city. But then we support our network of high school students in the Bronx with access to that opportunity. And throughout the fall, we also support them in independent internship opportunities, after school programs, anything where a young person can go somewhere, whether that's virtual or in person, and upskill, talk to, employers, talk to people who are entrepreneurs, whatever that looks like. I'm that person. And so I'm also bringing on an intern right after the holidays. So supporting us in connecting to our alum that have left our schools.
Using Alumni Toolkit.
We are using alumni toolkit. And so, this young person is going to host their first Here to Hear alum network meeting. So we're going to do like a welcome night, and just allow a space for alum who have gone through either our internships or have graduated from any of our schools, to talk about where they are now and what's ahead for them and how we can continue to support what they're looking for. So.
Great. Thank you for the introduction, Casey.
Thank
Jen,
you.
great talking to you.
For sure. And summer youth employment is something that I know, like one of the districts I'm working with up near Buffalo is considering trying to introduce something like that. And we're also talking with some folks from another part, a city in the Midwest that is interested in trying to develop their own summer youth employment program. So lots of great ideas coming from New York City and spreading across the state and the country.
Nice. Casey, thank you for joining us. We're big fans of Here to Hear, so please say hello to all the folks that are in the office today, and congratulations for being back in an office. Is that the right thing to say? But
yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks. Good to see you guys.
All right, Carla, another in-person episode in the books.
Listen.
It's great to share space with you again.
Likewise.
And it's up to you whether to have a great day or not.
It's make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.
Exactly what I said. So
Exactly.
bye, everyone.